Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is your girl Trisha just checking back in with a quick message. And I just want to say to everyone that be careful when you don't know if you are in your Martha or Mary season. So what I'm referring to is back in, I believe it's Luke chapter, is it chapter 38? I think it's chapter 38 in Luke. And during that time, Jesus was in town and he ended up going to Mary and Martha's house. And when he was going to Mary and Martha's house, Mary understood that what was important to her was God, and she sat at his foot. While Martha was so busy running around the house, cleaning up until she burnt herself out, right? The only reason I'm telling you guys this story is because I found myself in Martha's shoes. And over the last 2 weeks, I wasn't getting any sleep. I was getting restless. Just like a lot was going weighing on me. My bills were starting to back up. Just things that normally would not happen started happening. And I'm just telling y'all this because about 4 days before I found out I wasn't even going to win for primaries, 4 days before then, I remember when I was just so exhausted that I couldn't do nothing but drop to my knees. I sat down there. I prayed. I prayed. When I got up, I said, God, if something is not for me, don't let me have it. Don't let me touch it. Like, no. This was the same day I was going in for a loan because I'm trying to secure this land. And all of a sudden, the loan fell through. Couldn't get the loan. And I was like, oh my gosh, God, what am I going to do now? And forgetting just that morning, I prayed that if it was something for me, don't let me have it. I'm not asking him to secure this stuff. I'm telling him if it's not in alignment with what you got going on for me, take it from me. Don't even let me accept it. So then that was the first thing that was taken. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get this land. So now I'm like, now I gotta raise this money in order to get this land that I want. Then I started getting this funny pit in my stomach. I couldn't shake it. Um, just different stuff was happening. And my daughter was like, Mom, you haven't been out in a few days to campaign. I said, I ain't had time. I've been having to work. I've been having to finish building this business. It's been a lot going on. I ain't have time. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what? Let me just go out and make sure a few more people know me. And as I'm out walking around, I have my earbud in my ear. And it was a podcaster who came on and was like, um, don't expect big outcomes because you're going to get what you put into it or something like that, to make a long story short. So I was like, oh, yeah, you're going to get what you put into it. So I'm like, maybe I'm not getting this loan because I'm not putting enough money up or something. So here I'm just going on about this. I'm not thinking that it can relate to the primaries because I've had so many people who was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to vote for you. I'm going to vote for you. And it did happen. And I was just like, oh, okay. But then by the time the primaries came, I was so at peace with understanding that I asked God for whatever, not for me, for Him to take it. That by the time the primaries hit and I realized that I didn't win, I was like, oh, okay. Well, that frees up time for me to get back to my normal program and figure out like what else I have to do. And during this process, I had one of my neighbors see me and he goes, how was the campaign going? Did you make the final two? And I said no. He said, oh, okay. I didn't want to ask you, I didn't want to tell you that, but he said, I know, I've seen it. He said, but a lot of people don't know you. He said, but this gives you 4 years to build a stronger foundation and re-go. He said, I had a friend, this is his 4th year going and he ain't make it yet. And I keep telling him the same thing, just keep going. And I was like, okay. I said, well, thank you, but I knew I still had to get to work that morning. And on my way to work, I had heard, you know, that wasn't for you. That's not even your lane. And I said, but it was in my spirit. It was in my dream. And I chased it. And he was like, you did, but you were chasing something. This is God talking to me. He told me I was chasing something that he didn't ordain, that he did not even authorize for me to go and chase. He said, yes, you have dreams. But what I'm making a long story short is sometimes we forget and we get busy, we get over consumed. So when I was running around doing all of this extra stuff that did not pertain to what God had already called me to do, he was like, I'm leaving people suffering. You know, right now, when the city was having so many people who was trying to break down these homeless encampments, he was like, "You were supposed to be over here securing this building. Instead, you over here." So God had really had to chastise me and sit me down. And now, over these last few weeks, after I had actually fully surrendered and understood what was going on, I said, "Okay, God, where are we going from here?" He said, "First is just you repenting. First, you understanding that you totally missed what I had told you to do." And I had realized something about my life. I said, well, you know, all of this stuff that I'm doing. And he told me, it's so important for us to finish the race that we started. He said, but more importantly, that you be so transparent with people. He said, you have to be so transparent with people and say, hey, this is how some of us actually transition. He said, you don't have to show them all the good part. He said, this is human. You're human. He said, yeah, show them. You don't win every battle. Every battle, he said, it ain't yours. Don't get upset. Don't get discouraged. He said, but on the other side of this, he said, you also get to show people how to rise, how to still keep going, how to still keep fighting through it all. And he said, but you have to he said, you got to go back and take on your Mary spirit. And I said, excuse me. He said, Mary prioritized what was so important to her. Mary understood I was important to her. He said, he especially convicted me. He said, you were getting so busy, you weren't praying with me. You was moving on. He was like, you started moving. God telling me, he said, you started moving different on me. He said, so if I allowed you to get a couple of these things that you were asking me for, he said, you might have forgot about me. He said, and so sometimes we have to understand with Mary, she understood worshiping him. She understood why she needed him. And yes, he said, I'm not going to convict you from being busy. I'm not going to convict you from thinking that you're supposed to do all of this work. He said, but is all of this work you doing more important to me? God said at some point we're going to have to ask ourselves, is what we're doing more important than who's giving it to us? And I didn't realize how important this was going to be with him fighting with me. So I'm going to tell y'all something in this season. If it is taking you out of the realm of God, if it is taking you out of the realm of you praying, if it's taking you out of your spiritual alignment, I'm going to say let it go. Maybe my lesson, that the way and I had to learn this just now, maybe it wasn't as harsh. But I'm going to say, I don't want you to have to learn no harsh lesson in order for you to understand that God got you. That God wants you to be with him. That's my lesson for you guys. My light didn't went off. I didn't turn the car off. But anyway, I will be back on later. I do have a couple videos I want to pump out. Let you guys know. And until next time, y'all take care. Don't forget to love on each other. And don't forget, we all we got is each one teach one season.